Adams was belligerent with police in the minutes following the accident.
Yeah, she was screaming at police, all that, basically talking back to him, just arguing with him. Adams will now be sentenced by a different judge on Monday morning.
I sent her to the U.S. to have a good study and to get a career and to do something in her life. And she was killed in the road.
Now, sources close to this case tell us that Judge Jackson had no intention of recusing himself from this case when the hearing began this morning. But after defense attorneys raised concerns about his conflicts of interest, the judge had the case assigned to someone else. When they return on Monday, Shamika Adams will be sentenced. She faces between 3 and 7 years in jail. From D.C. Superior Court, Mark Seagrace for News Channel 8.
After 12 years in the dark, a family now knows how Joyce Chung died, but they may not get justice. Today, D.C. police, along with America's Most Wanted host John Walsh, announced the government lawyer was kidnapped from DuPont Circle, robbed, and was either pushed or fell into the icy Anacostia River in 1999. But the case will probably not go to court. Sources tell us investigators have 2 suspects, one already in prison, another who's been deported. But there's not enough evidence to go to trial. But they have declared the case solved.
You guys are our superheroes. And we really thank you very much for doing everything you did to bring this case to closure for our family so that we could turn the page.
Family and friends tell us it was important to remove the suicide stigma, and they now have some closure. Prince William County officials say it's incredibly unusual to have 4 teachers arrested in 5 weeks. All the teachers have been accused of being inappropriate with their students, and parents want to know what's going on.
Those who send their children to Prince William County schools are struggling for answers, some explanation as to how 4 different teachers in Virginia's second-largest school system have been arrested on charges of having inappropriate contact with students.
I think they need to do a better job at background checking.
Before any teacher stands before a classroom of children in Prince William County, they must go through a criminal background check.
It's a very strenuous process. If there's something in the background of somebody, it's going to be found.
But if there isn't a criminal arrest record, there's nothing to be detected. Prince William County officials also emphasize that each of the county's teachers must go through special training to understand what actions are not appropriate towards students.
Some people are touchy people. You know, there could just be a pat on the shoulder. Well, that a child could take that in the wrong way.
Prince William County Schools provides personal safety lessons in its curriculum during the elementary school years. Some believe the increase in reports of inappropriate behavior may be due to the level of awareness on the part of the students.
Now, if it's like kindergartners and stuff, I'd be more scared, not more of high school. High school, it just seems more obvious that it could be just, you know, like not just the teacher's fault, it could be the student's fault.
Prince William County school officials say that they are going to be having in-service training involving all school principals across the entire school district. They're going to talk about this issue, about inappropriate relations and inappropriate touching with teachers, to give them the kind of training that they need so they can pass it along to their teachers as part of this effort here. In Woodbridge, Virginia, Gail Pennybacher for News Channel 8.
Mayor Vincent Gray's former campaign chair says she never promised a job to Suleiman Brown in exchange for attacks on former Mayor Adrian Fenty. Lorraine Green testified in a hiring hearing today. Suleiman Brown says she offered him payments and a job if he would help Gray win. Brown has also been subpoenaed to testify soon. D.C. Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton met with President Obama recently and discussed the district's voice in Congress. Last month, Mayor Vincent Gray and other city officials were arrested in a protest over congressional interference in district affairs. On News Talk today, Norton said the White House is hearing their message.
I think the message is getting back to the White House, and it does show that unless I have backup from the residents of the District of Columbia, it's very easy to ignore D.C. Nobody is ignoring D.C. now, even the Republican committee that it seemed most hostile.
You can see the whole conversation on Bruce's blog and tbdnewstalk.com. New information on a developing story. AAA Mid-Atlantic is asking the Maryland Attorney General to investigate more fuel distributors for price gouging. Maryland does not have an anti-price gouging law, but Attorney General Doug Gansler wants answers about why some local stations have had wild changes in their prices. Some raised their prices by 20 cents a gallon overnight. D.C.'s Attorney General is helping to investigate. A major overhaul for some metro escalators. The agency will shut down escalators at the DuPont Circle and Foggy Bottom stations for the next year. It will take that long to completely rebuild them. Only one escalator at each station will be closed at a time. The others will stay open. An audit late last year found major problems on escalators at DuPont, Foggy Bottom, Bethesda, and Woodley Park. Prom is a night that high school seniors have been looking forward to. But in Springfield, prom is on hold because of a prank that got out of hand. The entire senior class could be punished.
There was food flying across the entire cafeteria, and it got to a point when there was trash cans and even chairs being thrown across the room.
Today, many students are talking about what really happened inside the cafeteria yesterday at West Springfield High School.
It was chaos. People were running to get out, and some people were trampled.
There was an apple thrown at a girl in one of my classrooms today, and she had a busted lip.
Someone pulled the fire alarm, people scattered, and as we reported last night, the principal sent home a letter warning all senior activities, including the senior picnic, senior trip to Hershey Park, and the senior prom, are on hold, pending their investigation. Some think the principal's doing the right thing.
They threw chairs, tables were turned over, so the special needs kids got hurt. Some teachers even got hit in all of the fire and everything.
It was really crazy because I saw some guy just pick up a chair and just throw it across like the whole cafeteria, and it was just like, it was mayhem.
The special ed kids today couldn't even eat lunch in our cafeteria because they were scared to go eat lunch there, which I thought was pretty sad.
Now many students feel it's unfair to cancel prom and other activities based on what they call a senior prank that had been planned out on Facebook.
They shouldn't make such a big deal about it. There's no point in doing it. I just think our administration is going absolutely insane over the whole thing.
And this afternoon, a spokesman for the Fairfax County School Department told me Monday will be the earliest they decide whether or not to outright cancel the prom and other senior activities. I'm Gail Huff, News Channel 8.
What gets saved and what doesn't? Louisiana officials have a tough decision to make to avoid another flood disaster in New Orleans.
Oh my God, that's horrifying. Are people really doing it at 8 years old?
A Botox backlash. Strong reactions to an 8-year-old getting Botox. Now the mother is under investigation.
Who wants to be right? The rain is better when something is wrong. You get excitement in your bones and everything.
You heard her right there. Grammy winner Adele kicked off her tour at the 930 Club in D.C. last night, but dozens of fans were stuck outside. Scammers got away with selling fake tickets to the sold-out show at $100 a piece or more. The venue says situations like this are rare, and only a handful of counterfeit ticket holders were turned away. But multiple victims of the scam put the number between 80 and 100 bought on Craigslist.
Buyer beware. Craigslist is great for a lot of things, but you have to be really careful.
The guy at the door said these are the best fakes I've seen.
The 930 Club says it tried to squeeze in the folks with fake tickets, but the show was at capacity. People were allowed to stand outside and listen through the door. A local teenager is fighting to save his eyesight. It's a race against the clock because with every passing year, his sight gets worse. But today he got some star power on his side.
Bjorn Brooks remembers when he was 5 years old.
I didn't understand why I couldn't see what everybody else could see.
He has a degenerative eye disease called retinitis pigmentosa. He just turned 13 years old this week, another year closer to completely losing his sight.
Well, that's what doctors say, but that's the reason why we're raising money, so I hopefully don't have to go through that.
Bjorn's raising money to fight blindness. He packed the cafeteria at his school, Gwynn Park Middle. A school dance during the day is pretty cool.
Yes, it actually is pretty cool. I mean, I'm just happy that the principal gave him permission to let me do it.
With permission, Bjorn invited a guest.
You can have it your way, you're the customer.
Grammy-nominated R&B singer Raheem DeVaughn.
When you get on your Facebook or your Twitter, you let them know what my man is doing here.
I'm just happy that he came out to support me.
I'm more worried for him after I leave. Like, he's gonna be like the man.
You'll notice none of the kids are wearing their school uniforms. They all paid to wear their own clothes. They donated $10 a On behalf of Bajorn, all of that money is going to the Foundation Fighting Blindness. Pride exudes from his family.
I'm very proud of just what he's accomplished.
And his school.
It came to fruition and it was really good.
He's like a little rock star.
No doubt about it.
When it comes to his future, Bajorn's vision is 2020. He's smart. Can you dance?
I can, but I don't think I will be.
Oh, come on, you gotta shake a leg.
I will if you will.
And savvy. Jennifer Donnellan, News Channel 8.
He's a great kid. I hope him the best. And you saw the promos for this, didn't you?
If I'd seen correctly, I think they've got a 5K going on this weekend, a run walk, if you will, out in some different areas. So I hope a lot of people go out and attend.
Excellent. I hope the weather's halfway decent.
And if that, again, is going to be correct by my point of view here, a lot of people are going to think that. Now, what we've been seeing is just kind of a few showers passing here and there. It's just what we've had today. It hasn't rained all day. It really has been kind of drizzly, cloudy all day, and I think that's what, for the most part of our Saturday, is going to be too. Now, once we go beyond, that's when we start to get maybe a passing shower or storm too coming our way. I wanted to first start with live Super Doppler 7 radar because there's not a lot showing up, but we look off to the west to the Shenandoah Valley, maybe closing into the Blue Ridge, some showers out that way, and then more off to the west as we're going to see. Satellite and the radar together, we will show you this. That's where we've got some waves of more rain. So I think overnight tonight, maybe a few sprinkles, showers possible. It's really this wave of showers and storms associated with the severe thunderstorm watches south of here. I think that's the best chance of rain first overnight. Then we got to look beyond that wave of rain to the next one behind it. And you see how it's just pockets and periods of rain. It's just not one huge expanse of steady rain. Center of the storm system still over Kansas City, still over Missouri right now. So that has a long way to go before it gets here. And then there's another storm on that one's heels, as we'll see. So here we go. We're predicting the cloud cover and where we would see some chances of rain, showers, or maybe an isolated storm. So overnight, shower possible, and then even through the morning hours. I don't think great chances of a heavier storm or at least steady rain. Again, by the afternoon, that's where a possibility of a shower or storm coming up, but I think it's afternoon, evening on Saturday, the best chance of some showers and storms starting to crop up, especially as some warmer air is going to try to work itself in. Go into Sunday. Now, as the storm actually starts to get closer and near us, that's when I think we see a few more breaks in the clouds, and any sort of sunshine, now that we're really past the cold season, warms us up quickly. So I got a lot warmer temperatures coming our way on Sunday than what we're going to have on Saturday, which I think plays out a lot like this Friday. Temperatures overnight not bad, sprinkle, shower possible, and actually fairly mild, 60s, upper 50s to lower 60s for lows, but I don't think going too far temperature-wise by the afternoon. If you see some sunshine, you might peak to the lower 70s, but I'm going to stick with the 60s though. I've revised the forecast. A little bit warmer with some sun popping out Sunday, Monday. Again, chances passing storms here and there, and if you got events going on anytime this weekend, or in fact through the next 5 days, I think it's just dodging the storm. It shouldn't rain any event out. It would just have to be a big storm if that's going to happen. I think there's smaller storms, Morris.
Looks like Seattle to me. Thanks, Devin. A brewery is up and running in D.C. for the first time in more than 50 years. D.C. Brow Brewing Company is now turning out thousands of cans a day as the demand grows.
It's been a legendary response. It's better than we could have ever hoped for.
Business partners Brandon Scowl and Jeff Hancock have turned their love of beer into a burgeoning business.
We are not a brew pub. We are not a restaurant. We are simply a factory. All we do is come in here and we make beer.
Last year, they quit their day jobs and in March started D.C. Brow Brewery. On Bladensburg Road in Northeast, it is the first brewery in the district since 1956.
You know, something to stand behind, and me being a D.C. resident, also, it's, you know, I want to have something local that I can drink when I go out.
The 6,700 square foot brewery includes 6 fermenters and can turn out about 500 gallons of their 3 brews every 2 weeks. And already D.C. Brow is being served in some 75 pubs and bars across the city. Several grocery store shipments sold out in hours.
We used a lot of social media that's available to us, Facebook, Twitter, so we were actually able to build and generate a lot of good hype around the brand before the beer was actually even brewed.
And soon the brewery will offer tasting, something that wasn't allowed until the D.C. Council passed special legislation this month.
It was important that we bring this industry back because it's a tourism industry. In other jurisdictions, people actually go and do tours and they see a craft brewery on the premises, and so it's an economic impact in that regard.
For these business partners, their dream has truly become a reality.
I'm still a little nervous, but you know, I'm taking it one day at a time, and am very happy about our decision.
It's a 7-day work week, but it's my passion. I love it, and can never